All right, so we're going to go ahead and just going to let you guys see what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how to add new customers and selecting customer packages. We're going to also be talking about managing your customers in Vidgo portal, deactivating accounts, managing accounts, finding existing customers, the customer details navigation. And one of the last things we will also be talking about today is how to change a customer's password, manage customer subscriptions, upgrade, renew, customer detail manager, check customers' logs, access, etc., and a lot more. So let me go ahead and share with you guys now the login. So when you're about to get ready, let's see here, it's blinking. Let's see if it starts sharing yet. My fault. There we go. All right, so everyone on this call should have a login with the email address as well as password. Once you go ahead and log in, you will see, sometimes you got to do it again because of just sitting there for too long. So you will see the dashboard versus your today's transactions versus your yesterday transactions. We always want to begin when adding a new customer, you will start with managing customers. You can just go ahead and click on adding new customer. And we're going to use this new customer to go through the whole process. Once we have the person's email address, first name, last name, and phone number, we will then click on select package. We have a few options here. We have the premium package, we have the ultimate package, and we also have the plus package and the Latino Moss package. Now, this shouldn't be here. I'm gonna get in touch with Vidgo. The 90-day program we had has no longer exists. So I'm gonna have this removed later on today. So the 4 packages we have is the premium, ultimate, plus, and the Latino Moss. As we go down into the customer's information, we want to verify that we have the correct first name, last name, phone number, and email address. Now, you have here what you call a unique identifier. We created that for you because if you already have an existing customer and they have an account number assigned to them, you can go ahead and assign that. We can put that in as well. So when you're running your sales reports and creating it into Excel and uploading it to your billing platform, it recognizes that unique identifying account number. We do request that you do add a zip code. Now, please understand that when you add this zip code, it doesn't mean that that's where they're going to get their local DMA channels. We use that as to say, this is the home and this is where your account is set up at. That way that when we are requesting information about if you're going to get what local channels you have, we have a starting point of where your DMA should be coming from. Now, if you go to California, take your service and use it in California, it's not going to look at that zip code and say, oh, they're supposed to get Florida locals. No, it's going to go off of your IP address and where that internet service is coming from. Now we're at the point of selecting if this is going to be a regular order or it's going to be a 7-day free trial. The unique thing that the ISPs have today that even if a person went to Vidgo directly, they cannot get a 7-day free trial. If they go to Vidgo directly, they are doing a regular order, they're going to get charged that day, and they're going to get charged month to month every time. With ISPs, you guys could offer a 7-day free trial. As you see, it does say auto renew. So on that 7th day, if you don't go in, if the customer, doesn't call you up, or you don't call the customer up and say, hey, do you want to still move on? The system will automatically look at them as a new customer and will begin billing that day. So always be aware that if you pick the 7-day free trial, it will auto renew on the 7th day. But for today, we're just going to do this as a regular order. Okay, I'm clicking start. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to select a package. I was like, what did I do wrong? All right, so once you select your package and you got all the information in, it will give you approval. You'll go ahead and click on the Here button to add the additional information that's for the account. As you see, you have a bar line here with account info, customer subscription, customer details, and customer login. We will go through each one of these on this training today. So let's start with the account info. We want to make sure we go ahead and enter in the customer's address. If they're in an apartment, city, and we always want to click on update info button every time you make any changes, because sometimes what we'll typically do, we'll do something here and then we'll click on the next button or the next, and then we think that everything's automatically saved. It's not. You should always make sure any changes you make, you click on the update info button. So now we have the unique identifier. This number here is their account number in a sense, right? Everything is based off their email address, but to identify them, each person is giving a unique identifying number. This number cannot be changed. There's nothing I can do, nothing you can do. This will always be set in stone for the duration of their account. You have here what is called the status button. Now, this is where a lot of confusion comes in with a lot of the agents. They believe that once they go here and click on not active, update info, that it cancels the subscription. It does not. This inactive button is used for not allowing the customer to have access to the app. So if they cut on their Vidgo app, it's going to give them a pop-up once they try to sign in. It's going to give them a pop-up that they need to contact you. And a lot of times, my biggest sales pitch was this is on football or now NBA playoffs. If that customer is always late paying a bill, I'm sure if you go ahead and click them and make them not active to log in, they will be giving you a call to pay that bill. But this does not, I'm going to say it again, this does not cancel the subscription. It only does not allow them to log in. So we got the first name, last name, address. We have the mobile number. As you see, we can change this. This can be updated at any time, either by your customer or by you manually updating it. The email address here is the same email address as the account ID. But if I change this, it will not change their account ID. This email address is where they get all their notifications. So for upcoming movies on Vidgo, playoffs, or anything that is happening with Vidgo, let's say a station is down, that's the email that will get the notification. So if you change that, only thing will be changed is where they get their notifications. Me, for example, I don't look at my Gmail account. a lot. That's just my email I give to anybody, and it's probably full with spam. I mostly give them my work email because that's the one I pay attention to the most. So some customers may say, you may want to ask them, hey, do you want, your notifications to go to the same email address you set your account with, or do you want another one? So you're more than welcome to go ahead and change that. As you see here, again, the account ID cannot be changed. The password in there is all encrypted. We definitely don't want a password that anybody can see and start using the subscription at their own house. You have here where is the email reset link. So you got one of those customers who swears up and down they entered all the correct information. Instead of pushing the button that says forgot password or reset your account, they call you up. You're more than welcome to send them, click on this button here. It will automatically send them a reset link. You have here where you call purge account. The only time you would use purge account is for a situation when you're setting up an account for the first time. And instead of you putting James Binion 01, you put James Binion 0@gmail.com. And the customer's like, hey, I still haven't got my password, I haven't got my login. And you guys go through the interaction of, oh, okay, I accidentally put in the wrong email address. Let me reset your account. That's the only time you will purge this account. You don't want to purge an account even if they canceled with you or they became a bad paymaster and you cancel their account. You want to keep that on record. Purge an account, you don't want accounts on your account that's just there because it had a wrong email address. So that's about the only reason why you will purge an account. Changing customers' password. I kind of really like this option here because, again, you may have that customer who calls you up and just doesn't want to push forgot password. You can easily select the password as easily as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you click on the email confirmation, you go ahead and click save. Your customer will automatically receive an email of their new password. Now, as you notice, this did not disappear. I've been banging on Vidgo's head saying, hey, once I click save password, it should disappear. But as you see, it does not. And sometimes we'll keep clicking it because we're waiting for it to disappear. Just note that every time I click this save password, my customer's getting an email of that new password. So long as you see that it's green, you can just go ahead and close and be rest assured that your customer has received that new password. The preview customer access, it's just the same thing what your customer will see if they log in on Vidgo's website for just looking to update their information or mostly just update their information, or they want to watch TV using their web browser on their computer. I see that we do have one question. Before I move on to customer subscription, is there anyone else that has a question? Thanks, Lori. Yeah, I noticed I didn't select one. All right, so let's move on to customer subscription. All right, so customer subscription. This is where you're going to do a lot of different things. James? Yes.
I raised my hand. I was trying to ask some questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question back to the local channels. On the local channels, I know I had determined a while back with Joe that it routed the local channels based on the IP address that was associated with your internet provider. Yeah. So there's no way to change that, right? Like, say for instance, I think here where we're located, there were a couple of people who had, I think it was AT&T. I don't remember what provider it was, but it was based out of like Harlingen area. So a lot of the customers were getting local channels out of Harlingen, Texas, instead of the surrounding cities in our area.
Now, I have heard of some guys using a VPN. I haven't, they went and used a VPN and they were able to redirect where the internet was coming from, or it read a different IP address. They never told me if it was successful or not, but I know some people had told me that they would just use a VPN.
Okay. And so just for future reference, if, as the customer travels, so say for instance, like you said, if they were moving outside of the state, they would not pick up local channels in that state. They would just pick out from where their area is, right?
No, they would get the local channels from the state that they moved in. Because remember, it's all based off the IP address. So if that internet is in California and whatever that tower is located at, that's where they're going to get their locals from.
Okay, I understand that now. Let me see. I think that's, okay. So the active button in the account info, you also stated that would disable the access for the customer on the app. Is that on the web base too?
Yes, on the
Okay,
web
so it's
base,
everything.
on everything.
Okay.
Yep. It
Okay.
gets their full attention that they gotta either pay, because that would be the only reason why you do it. But there's another reason why some people, and I'll get into it when we get into the customer subscription, the reason why you'll probably want to still keep it active if you still cancel the subscription. But I'll get into that in this next piece of the training.
Perfect. Thank you.
I was also going to add real quick, James and Tracy, I can reach out to you about this. There may be a workaround with specific users and the locals that you had mentioned. There may be a way that Vidgo can actually go in based off of specific subscribers and change their local channels too for you.
Okay, got it. So that's the workaround for right now, correct?
Yes, yeah. So I'll message you offline and kind of send over to you the information that's required to do that.
Okay, perfect. I know we've discussed it before, but I just didn't know if anything had been updated since.
Yeah, so yeah, there is a workaround to it. So I'll send you that information.
Perfect. Thank you.
All righty. So customer subscriptions. This is where you're going to do your cancellations of the subscription, downgrades, upgrades, and that's what we're going to do right now. So first, let's talk about upgrading a customer. So if a customer said, hey, I like the plus plan, but I think that premium plan is the bomb. I want to upgrade. Fine, no problem. You'll log in, get into the customer's information, go ahead and click on the subscription. And first thing you will do, you will cancel this one. You make it inactive. You choose the date, and you can just put upgrade for the reason why. Oops. And update subscription. So we're going to go back now by clicking on the customer's name. We will see that this was inactive now, and it was canceled on this day. So when you go to upgrade, you click on renew subscription, and you choose the subscription they want to upgrade to. Click complete. As you see, it says approve. Click on here. And now when you go to customer subscription, your customer will now be receiving a premium package. The same way to upgrade is the same way to downgrade. As you see, the customer subscription number has changed. So you go ahead and go to the premium package, make it inactive, select date. Update subscription. as you will see, now it's inactive. Click on renew, and then you go down to the downgrade. And as you will see, it is now back downgrade. The same steps will be for if the customer wanted to go to Latino Mas and says, hey, I just want all Spanish. You'll follow that same step. Go into cancel the current subscription, click on the renewed subscription, and then select it. What you don't want to do is just leave it the way it is and then click on renew and then select a package and click complete. What's going to happen is this one account will have two accounts. So you always want to make sure you deactivate that current account. All right, so now, it's still open. So now let's go ahead and talk about deactivating an account. So as we see, we have this one open. We're going to go ahead and click on that. Just like how we do the upgrade, we make this inactive. We select the date, and you can put for whatever reason, CBS. Don't have CBS. So you go ahead and update to subscription. Now the subscription is canceled, but because Vidgo is a prepaid program, Vidgo looks at it as if you already got the money for that month, the customer by right should have access to the end of the month. So because this is active, the customer will still be able to log in and view TV service to the end of the month, and that's why this is green. Now, if you're not doing a prepaid service because you guys own the customer, you bill the customer directly, then you need to go ahead and click here, click on not active, and then update the subscription. So that way the customer, even though it's still green, the customer cannot get into the system. If you have any questions, please add it into the Q&A. Can you outdate the cancellation? Lori, can you go ahead and turn on your microphone?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tim with Rock Solid subbing for Lori. So on the cancellation, you kept choosing today's date. When you would go into, for example, on the screen, you would go into the unique identifier for the plus, and then you would choose today's date. Can you choose like a week out type scenario, and then it automatically terminates on that day?
Yes. So that's the thing though, right? Because it has a start and end date, right? It will, even though I canceled it for today, I still have access to it to the 31st. So will the cancel date automatically turn them off if you put it in later? If I put it on the 14th day, no, it will not. You will have to go in there. It will cancel the subscription, right? We see that the subscription was canceled on the 14th, but you will still have to go in and put not active for them to not have access. Does
Exactly.
that make sense?
Thank you. That was exactly my question. Yes.
Yep. All righty. So now let's go into customers' devices. If there's any other questions, and I'm saying it now, cancel the subscription. If you got any other questions, ask now, please. Because I've seen, I had one ISP, they had like 15 customers that when they went in, all they did was put in not active. And that just tells us that you didn't give them access, but your subscription is still running. So we will continue to be billing you for that subscription until we see that subscription canceled.
What about the opposite? If someone comes in and on this page deactivates the account, deactivates the subscription, but doesn't go to the account info and hit not active, how long would they have continue to have access to the service?
They will still only have access to the 31st. Because we have a cancellation and the status is inactive, if let's say you forgot to, as long as you did this portion here, even if this says still active, they can't get in.
So if somebody was to say, you know, I want to terminate services at the end of the month, we can go in and deactivate the subscription and
Yep.
then leave the account info active so they have access for the duration.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, beautiful.
Exactly. What only thing I just want to make sure is that everyone understand this does not cancel the subscription where you as an ISP are getting billed. So thank you. Thank you. All right, so now let's talk about customers' devices. Of course, this doesn't have any devices. So let me pull up an account. And as I'm doing this, let me talk about how you begin with a customer that's an existing customer and you need to manage them for any reason, that for call up of downgrade, upgrade, cancellations, etc. You just go ahead and enter in that customer's email address. And you will be able to click on their account number. And it will open up their account, and that's when you can start going through their customer subscription, account info, change password, etc. As you see here, let me just show you, this is a live one. Because this is a prepaid account, every month it's going to always roll over, and that's why this is all red. And this is the active account. So now going back to managing your customer, you can, if your customer calls you up and says, hey, I'm having issues with my account, you're able to see what device type they're using, their IP address, which is great because then you can see what DMA or local channels that they should be receiving. You can see what internet they're getting, what company they're getting it from. Because a lot of times you may have a customer on their mobile device using their mobile data plan, and they call you and say, hey, my stuff is keep buffering. It keeps buffering. You're able to go here and say, okay, are you using your Apple TV, your Fire TV, your web browser? Oh, no, I'm using my Android device. And if that Android device is not connected to their Wi-Fi, you will see it say, for example, I got T-Mobile, it will say T-Mobile. Now, not knowing what plan they have on their device, that could be the cause of reason why it's buffering. So you can quickly tell them, hey, are you able to connect to Wi-Fi? Oh, yeah, I can connect to Wi-Fi. Are you having any buffering issues? No. So now we know exactly where the issue is caused from. Is from their data plan with their mobile device. This here just gives you an idea when they first connected, reconnected. You can go in here, and if they're having issues with a device, you can disconnect it for them and then have them reconnected as well as going through a troubleshooting of what could be the issue of them not receiving the services. I will also send you guys a troubleshooting one-sheeter or a deck. So just in case you haven't received it already, troubleshooting devices like Roku, Fire Sticks, Android devices, web browsers, iPads, you name it, we got a troubleshooting for you. So then we go into customers login. This is a very important feature right here that I really love is because many times you'll have a customer call you in and say, hey, I've been trying to log in, but I can't log in. You will go here and see if they made an attempt. So for example, I haven't logged in today, but let's say I try to log in today. If I came here as their customer service rep, I did not see on 5/4 that there was an attempt to log in. 100% reason why that's happening is because they're entering in the wrong username. Now, of course, our customers are going to always say, no, I did not, I did not, I did not. You can, again, go back and just go ahead and send them a reset link. Or be on the phone with them. All right, here's your username. Let's type it again. If I did see that it did show that I attempted to log in, but the status was failed, 100% reason why that happened was because they entered in the wrong password. Now, again, our customers are always going to say they did not. They can easily quickly fix that issue by clicking on forgot password, or you can set them up with a new password. Now, they will also see that if they attempted to try to log in multiple times, they will get banned. Now, the ban doesn't ban them from accessing the services from other devices. It only bans them from that device. So they can go into another device and try log on again and get through. But for that device, it will be banned. A workaround for that without having to wait for the unbanment to be removed, you can go here, ask them what device they're using, and see the date that they tried or that they used it before, and you can disconnect it. And that should be the workaround to get quickly past the being banned. Okay, if anyone doesn't have any questions, I will move on to the next stage.
I do. I had a question. How many times does it take for someone to get banned? Just so that way we know.
Yeah, typically anytime 3 times or more.
3 times or more. Okay.
Yeah, that's your standard pretty much across a lot of the platforms today. That if you try after 3rd time, the part that I don't like is, it's not like your Apple where it says, hey, you got one more time to try this.
Yeah.
But yeah, once they get banned and they give you a call, the workaround is to go around that. And you can easily change the password to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I typically, anytime I'm dealing with someone who's not good with long passwords, I will go ahead and change the password before they get their original password, but I will let them know, like, hey, if you have difficulties with the uppercases, lowercase numbers, I'll go ahead and make your password as simple as your phone number for your first time to log in, and then you can set your password to what you want.
Gotcha. Okay. That sounds good. Thank you.
No problem at all. All right, so I don't know if we have a lot of managers on this call and a lot of agents on this call, but if you are a manager, you will have access to be able to run sales reports, add and update users, and manage customers. So if we have anybody that's a manager on the thing, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you a little bit. So anytime you run a sales report, the invoices come in, it rolls over every 1st of the month. So when you're looking, let me just go back real quick to the home page. When you're looking at today's transactions on the 1st of the month, it's going to have all your people that you have on your account for the renewal stage. So when you're running your sales report, you don't want to start off with the 1st of the month, because that's all it's going to show them as new, right? You want to be able to see what new customers I got from the month. So you want to start with the 2nd of the month, right? And then you choose today's date. You run a report. Of course, Mitotech doesn't sell to end users, but But this will show you your 3 accounts that you have that was made for that week. If you're looking for just to see how many you have active for the month or for as of today, you go ahead and click on Run Report. And of course, I'm going to have a whole bunch of them due to the fact I got everybody's information, but yours is going to come up directly your account. Now, as we go into adding users, it's going to automatically come up as your company for adding users. There's 3 users we can add. Again, we have the managers, the supervisors, and we have the agents. Managers are able to add other managers, supervisors, and agents. Supervisors are able to add other supervisors and agents. Agents can't add anyone. Agents will only have access to new customers and manage customers, which is basically all they need to do is add customers and provide any customer service they need for that customers. Supervisors, pretty much the same. Only thing they don't have a sales report. They can only add users, manage customers, and add new customers. So managers, you are the top of the line, be able to do everything. If you want to change the status of a person, it's not set in stone. You just go ahead and click on update your user's information. You go ahead and add in their name. And then, like, for example, you click on it, and then you go ahead and just change the status. Each password is coming up automatically. You can go ahead and change this password if you want. You just pass on that password to your agent or manager or supervisor. To make a person inactive, you just go in and click on not active. I highly recommend if an employee is leaving, please go in there and make them not active. Because what you don't want to do if you guys left on bad terms is they go in there and they add hundreds of people, or one person here this week, one person here that next week, and no one really noticed it. Now some people are getting free access to the TV service. We won't know that your employee was let go. It's totally on the responsibility of your manager to make sure they deactivate any person that is no longer with you guys. Any questions? Well, I think we went through everything there. Is there any questions where, you know, I probably didn't point out or didn't mention and that you may, you didn't hear today? All right. Well, before we go, we do have a couple of announcements. I wish we was to say we got CBS, but I can't say that yet. All right, so just to let you guys know, Vidgo is now available on Vizio smart TVs. So if your customer doesn't need a Roku device, doesn't need a Fire Stick or any other Android device or any device at all, they got a smart TV. Vizio is on now. Vidgo is now on Vizio TV. It is also on Sony TVs as well. So this is a good selling point if your customer doesn't want to have an additional device to access the services. They're more than welcome to find it on smart Sony TV as well as Vizio. And another great thing that we're announcing is we have our own set-top box where if your customer, you know, they really just like to have a device that they can rely on, that they can just cut on the TV and Vidgo pops up. We now have that device. This will soon be available for sale in the next month or two. Joe, do you have any date that we're ready to start sending this out to guys?
So thank you for giving me that question. No, I would say realistically we're about 2 to 3 weeks out finally from being able
Okay.
to take orders for it. We have a couple prototypes that are slowly making it around around the rooms. We're hope to have a couple more prototypes in the next couple of or where we had a call today, so maybe even as early as next week or the week after that, we'll have a couple additional prototypes that if anyone would like to take a look, please let us know. We're only going to have a couple right off the start, so it might just be a short demo, but we can get them into the hands of everybody that wants to take a look at them as they become available.
Yeah, and don't tell nobody I told you this, but we are really, really hoping to have CBS by football season. I'm praying. I really don't want to say it, but I'm praying. We know that's a lot of big reasons why it's kind of hard to push the service. But me and Joe are here for you guys anytime, any selling point techniques that we can help you guys out with. If CBS has really been an issue to many customers, they can easily get Paramount or Peacock for additional $5. They still come out cheaper by having Vidgo and these other applications. Now, a lot of people's like, oh, I don't want to go from one application to the next. Like, you're doing it already. Like me, myself, I have DirecTV, Vidgo, Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, Showtime, Disney Plus, and I'm going from app to app, like it's called stacking, right? And a lot of people don't think about it until you actually mention it to them. Then they're like, oh, wow, you're right. I am going through each one of these. So going to another app, and if you really, really need CBS or NBC, going to another app should not be a real big issue, right? So that's one selling point, a key if you're always having that issue. But again, me and Joe are here to help. Anytime you guys need us, please just give us a call. But if there's no other questions, thank you guys for showing up. The recording will be available. I do see many of you asking for the recording. I will make sure that you do get the recording today. So,
And James, I was just going to really quickly touch on some of the functionality of the box.
yes.
Too, real quick, just so everyone knows where it is headed. But the remote that you see does come part of the box. It is a universal remote, meaning that it can pair directly with the TV for the subscriber. So it gives them the complete set top, as James mentioned, set top box functionality where they can control everything all with that one device. And then it does, excuse me, support Vidgo being on the home screen. So if the end user turns off their TV, they turn back on their TV, Vidgo will still be running. So they don't have to navigate out of the app. They can if they want to, but it will just keep them on the traditional set-top box. And then it also has a HDMI cable that will be part of the box as well. It can do Ethernet, it can do fiber, it can also be connected through Wi-Fi as well. So 2, 4, 5 gig or even Wi-Fi 6. So it'll be available for all of those standards too. The last kind of unique functionality will be that there'll be some customization that will be made available to our partners. And that will include your logo even potentially flashing the first time that the device is actually turned on at the customer's or the end user's location, along with silk screening on the box itself, where you can put your logo and contact information too. So those are some of the customizations that we're doing with the boxes, and should have it available here fairly soon. So we appreciate everyone's patience. It's been a long time coming. We're excited to finally have it available.
Yes.
Oh, the last part, sorry, is if you look at the rocket at the below the Netflix button, that also will potentially have Vidgo as the logo, so that this user can just click on that button and that will take them direct to the Vidgo app as well, and they'll already be logged into it. So those are some of the functionalities coming out.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Hope you guys have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You too, sir. I've placed my email in the questions as Lori is absent. I can be contacted that way. Oh,
No
thank
problem.
Thank you.